Hey guys, DeweyFin21 here, and I'm going to talk about the 5th year anniversary special for thatguywithglasses.com, The Uncanny Valley. This is going to be a review of all the parts of it, all the different things, which one I thought did the best, which ones I thought did the worst, and which ones were just in the middle. Okay? So, anyways, before I can talk about the shorts themselves, I should probably give you opinions on the other That Guy with the Glasses anniversary specials, even though I'm not comparing them because they're pretty much three different things. I mean, the first year anniversary was like a half-hour fight, and for that it was actually pretty good, I guess. You could see pretty much everything that was going on. There was a lot of great stuff in the background, too. The second, third, and fourth years were all full-fledged movies. And I think the second year's was I think the second year's is my least favorite. Kikashia is my least favorite. Suburban Nights is my favorite, even though I think To Boldly Flee was done the best. Because I think something can be done the best, but it doesn't have to be my favorite. I mean, Suburban Nights is always going to be my favorite anniversary special unless they find a way to top it. I mean, I don't know. Anyways, so now we're on to the Uncanny Valley, and so and instead of being a movie, they did 5 shorts. Technically 6 if you want to count the epilogue. And really there was and maybe 6 if you want to count the filler parts in between the episodes, like before the episodes, and the epilogue is 1, since that really just tells the one story. And so I guess yeah, let's get started. The first short in the Uncanny Valley was Dragon Board. And unlike a lot of teenage boys, I don't really play video games, so they keep saying there's a lot of references to Skyrim. I don't own a system that can play Skyrim. I mean, if you look over there, if you can see it there, all I have is a PS2 and a GameCube. Those are the only gaming systems I have because I broke my PSP, I broke my DS, and I broke my Game Boy. I don't know how I broke my DS. I guess I charged it too much because it wouldn't charge anymore. Because that was the only one that I have no idea how it broke. Actually, same with the Game Boy. The Game Boy and the DS just wouldn't charge anymore. The PSP, I know how that one broke. It was getting torn apart piece by piece. Um. Anyways, and as such, I didn't really get. I got a lot of the video game references, but I didn't get all of them. And as such, I just watched it as a Twilight Zone, Tales from the Crypt, Outer Limits type story. And as it was for that, it was pretty good. I mean, people complained that it wasn't really that original and all this different stuff, but even the newer episodes of those series, how many of them were really original? Why am I even asking that? Because I've never even seen any of those series. Well, I've seen some of them, I mean, but so I have an idea of what they're like. Although the only thing of the Twilight Zone, which the narration was parodying with Nash's narration was parodying the Twilight Zone opening, and the only reason I know that is because of the Tower of Terror ride at Disney, because I've never really seen an episode of Twilight Zone. I've read about them and all this different stuff, but anyways, as it was, I thought it was actually really good. Uh, yeah, it did sort of run a little long, but you know, 40 minutes, I was thinking, yeah, this might work as an hour-long TV episode. You know, it could work. I mean, and then let's see. So, I didn't really have any problems with the characters and how they were supposed to be portrayed. I mean, like, I hear a lot of people have problems with the fact that the main character Carl, his treatment at the end and how everyone felt about him. Some people were feeling sorry for him, but I didn't because I, I didn't really connect with him because, I'm not a hardcore gamer and all that stuff. And even then, it's not just gamers that were the bad qualities of him, it was the worst stuff. And then, let's see. And I don't really want to say much in case, well, you've probably watched it if you're watching this review. I mean, but, yeah. Uh, I thought that the ending, admittedly, I did see it coming because I forgot what week it was, and so I checked the TV Trip page, and it turned out the Dragon Board had already been out on Blip or something, and so there were already tropes for that, and I'm a member, so I had the spoilers already unmarked. And so I saw what happened at the ending, but eh, I was still able to enjoy it. I mean, if I'm able to have everything spoiled for me and still enjoy the film, short, whatever it is, I, I consider it to be a good one. I mean, it's not the best of the Uncanny Valley, uh, but, it's probably second or third. Probably second. It's probably my second favorite of them all. And so I thought the acting was really good, and I really, yeah, I really actually thought that Tacoma, I think that's his name, or Malcolm. Oh, oh man, why am I forgetting his name? I always get confused because, let's see, it was, uh, whichever one. Oh wow, I'm forgetting his name. That is bad. It's just, it's not like I haven't seen his name in the credits of pretty much every single Nostalgia Critic episode since he came back. I think it's Malcolm. I think Malcolm's his name and not the character from Demo Reel. Oh man, why am I think Tacoma was the character in Demo Reel and Malcolm was the actor. But if I'm getting those backwards, I apologize. My memory's not the best. I mean, anyways, next, let's see. Yeah, and I thought it was a okay moral, and yeah, so Dragon Board is second favorite. Then we moved on to Dragged In, uh, which really I think Dragged In got the short stick on the introduction since the others all had a little something to say for the introductions, and Dragged In's the odd one out since it's the only one that doesn't feature the meditation guy, which I don't know why. Guess they just couldn't think of a funny joke for that one or something. Anyways, Dragged In, uh I think Dragged In might be my least favorite, but that's not to say it's bad. It's just the others are all really good. I mean, well, they're all really good. I mean, this is just my least favorite. Uh, Probably because it hits on a few things that I just don't like to see in media. It, I mean, it's just overly long interviews with people from the news. I mean, even though that probably had some of the best moments in the thing, no matter how well they're done, I just don't like overly long interviews with people. I mean, but that's just a personal bias of mine. And, uh, I think, and I wasn't really hating it because it was short, like it's like a third of the length of Dragon Board, because Dragon Board's 40 minutes, and this one's like, uh, uh, what's a third of 40? It was like I don't remember how long. Dragon Ball was like 40 plus minutes, and this one was like 17 or something. And I don't hate it because it's short. I mean, if I if I hated everything because it was short, then that means I couldn't like films like The Land Before Time, which I've never seen. Um, but I don't hate it just because it's like 69 minutes, which really, why would anyone hate that? Yeah, whatever. Anyways, I mean, just because it's short doesn't mean it's bad. It's just it probably could have been a little longer, and it's actually established some things that it follows up on and follow up on some things that it establishes. But yeah, as it is, it's just take it or leave it. It's really the throwaway of the group. I mean, but it's not bad. And so next was the reviewers, which, yeah, it, and if you didn't know, Dragon Board was by the Nostalgia Critics group, even though he wasn't playing the Nostalgia Critic. But it was Doug, uh, Uncle Yo, and the two demo reel people. Which why am I forgetting their names? Why am I forgetting their names? I think it was Rebecca Stone and Tacoma Narrows was their characters, so it would be Malcolm Ray and Rachel something is their actors, but I don't know. Anyways, and Dragged In was by that sci-fi guy. Why am I forgetting everyone's names? Okay, so Dragon Board was Nostalgia Critic, Dragged In was Sci-Fi Guy. This is by the cinema snob Brad Jones and his friends, which really, if you just watch the cinema snob videos, you sort of have some idea since they appeared in his I Spit on Your Grave review. Most of them did anyways, but I really know who they are since I've watched pretty much every single one of the midnight screenings ever since I started watching them, which was like middle of last year. So I really have a good idea of how they really are compared to how they're playing in this, but that doesn't really change anything. The reviewers was my third favorite, funny enough. Uh, it it did have some okay jokes, and I could feel Brad's writing style in it, but the the thing is that um I don't know how to say this. I didn't really feel for any of the dramatic moments, like when he's being funny, but and then he's quitting his job and all this stuff, but I didn't really feel for any of that. And I mean, I think my favorite character out of that entire short was the Messiah, but really that's just because Jared can play that character really well. And so yeah, I don't really have much to say about it since it was my third favorite, maybe I don't know, third or fourth. I'm debating whether or not the next one, Internet Dating and Me by Mike J. I think I might like Internet Dating and Me a little more since, the Reviewers is a pilot for a show that's premiering sometime after. But I thought that Internet Dating and Me felt, as a standalone, it was pretty good. I mean, sure, some people complain about the slow beginning, but really, I've seen enough things that have slow beginnings but lead up into a payoff, and I enjoyed the payoff. So yeah, I think Reviewers would be my fourth favorite, and Internet Dating and Me is my third favorite, and Dragon Board's my second, and Dragged In's my fifth. So you already know what my first favorite one was. You already know what my favorite one was, which is really weird. Uh, yeah. So if you've actually seen it, if you haven't, then why are you watching this review? I mean, and Internet Dating and Me, and I thought that Mike J's surprise date, yeah, it was funny enough. I mean, uh, yeah. So, yeah, and let's see. And then we move on to the final one, my personal favorite one, which really, I mean, a lot of people are saying it's one of the best videos that Tig has ever done. And a lot of people are saying that it was needless, and a lot of people were saying it was needless because nobody's going to listen to it. But The Dark Side of the Internet by Welshie. Uh, I'm not going to even bother with the acting names anymore because I don't really know most of them. Uh, by Welshie, which is a documentary that doesn't really have much Welshie in it. It's just he directed it, I guess he wrote it or something. And he appears in animation form, and he appears as a censor bar when someone says the F word. And really, there are some words there that, yeah, I think that if I could, I would show this to people at school, and other stuff, because, I think some of them could really need it, but, people at my school, yeah, they could use that, and so, I don't know, I just really liked it. I mean, even though technically I never really do anything bad on the internet. It's not like I told anyone to kill themselves. And I can honestly say, if he was to write a story like this one, I would fucking kill him. Okay, I can explain that one. See, that was taken out of context because the guy I was talking to, see, I said it face to face, not like I told someone over the internet to do that. I said it face to his face. And it's not like I was actually telling the person who wrote the story, because I'm not that mean. I mean, you know, but yeah, I thought that all of these were fairly good in their own right, and so yeah, and then the epilogue came along, which really is the epilogue. The whole framing device of the five series is that Nash is the webmaster on a public access TV show, and he keeps getting interrupted by the meditation safety guy, played by Rob Walker, Doug's brother. And the epilogue is that Diamanda Hagen wants to show off her show about the internet and all that different type of stuff, but they don't have any time for her. So she blows them up, and then it turns out that apparently they were filming at the studio the Nostalgia Critic films at now, because the Nostalgia Critic was behind the camera, and that was actually Rob, and that was actually Nash, and even though they said they were playing characters, but they were acting. They were a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. Huh. And so, yeah. And really, I found that to be the funniest part of the whole thing. Had me laughing the most. Uh, but that's not to say I didn't laugh at the others. It's just that one was really the funniest. I mean, yeah, so. And I thought the whole rapping sequence as a whole really worked for Dragonboard, since Dragonboard was trying to be a Twilight Zone-esque thing, and that's what he was doing for narration. But the others, it didn't really fit because they weren't really they weren't really Twilight Zone episodes. They were more just standard standalone things. I mean, the reviewers, Internet Dating and Me, and Dark Side of the Internet didn't even have anything really weird about them, like otherworldly or very obviously fictional. Although Nash did say that the Dark Side of the Internet was the only serious one they had. And so, yeah. Although I know that the Twilight Zone did some non-weird episodes, but or something like that. One of them did non-weird episodes from time to time. But I mean, you have one that actually feels like a Twilight Zone, just a double-length one. One that, just feels like that, and then the others just feel like they would go anywhere. But all in all, I didn't. I enjoyed the 5th year anniversary, and I hope that there's 5 more years, because I really want to join the site. I just gotta get working on my review series, because all the vlogs I'm doing aren't really a review series. I mean, I have a camera. I have an HD camera that I've used on some videos, and I think I can do it, but I just need to get that done. Because I have the first episode lined up, and then a few more, and then hopefully one day I'll get on Tigwatig. But then again, I could just be dreaming. So, yeah. All in all, the Uncanny Valley, I'd give them a watch, and then probably rewatch, and then probably try to convince as many people as you can to watch Dark Side of the Internet, because really, even though some people say nobody's gonna learn or it's too obvious, I think a lot of people could learn something from that. I mean, even if you don't think you're doing it, you might be, I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So, this has been DeweyFin21 saying bye.
There is nothing that can stop us solving. There will be lost beneath the game. Don't forget it. I don't want to end this way. In my